difference between Catholic education and formation than other schools seems to me to begin and the most obvious point, and that is we get to believe in God. And we get to celebrate our belief in God. That's just not a small thing. We get to talk about God all day long in various ways and in various experiences. We get to worship God frequently, not just on a moment or once a week with a Mass, but all week long there's something going on, some conversation about God going on. It makes a huge difference to be able to experience the freedom to be able to speak about God and to reinforce the family's faith in God and the church's faith in God and the people. That's a foundational principle, and it makes all the difference in the world in terms of all the rest of the things that make a difference for Catholic education.
You will find in Catholic schools what you won't find anywhere else. We do talk about family, we talk about our faith, we talk about community. All of those things wrapped into one, and ensuring that they have an understanding about life, they have an understanding about themselves, and they have an understanding of their purpose. And I think oftentimes that gets lost in the shuffle of being, in other environments where you don't focus on that purpose. It's just, let's just go through the motions. And that's not what Catholic schools are. Catholic schools are specifically focused on your purpose.
Being here has brought me closer to a lot more people than I thought I would ever be close to. It's literally the best community I've ever been a part of.
If you look at the work we do, one, to make it affordable, two, that they're living in an environment that's faith-based. Look at the things that public schools are dealing with. And just with the whole pandemic, we've proven as Catholic schools that because we're smaller, we're able to adjust. And our testing scores, as we have come through the pandemic, show that our agility, that we're smaller, but we have that ability to adapt. We have that ability to meet the situation where it is. We as a whole, as Catholic schools, have done a phenomenal job meeting the challenge of what the last few years have given us.
I would say that the best thing is to look at who you want your kids to be when they graduate. They're going to become their own person. I'm not talking about their interests, but what values, what character do you really want instilled in them? We just realized that we really wanted to invest not just in the academics, but in the whole person, the whole kid.
Cuando los hijos están en este tipo de ambientes, ellos reciben esa preparación y tienen esa apertura a dejar que el Espíritu Santo actúe a través de ellos.
What is so amazing about Catholic schools is we're there to form disciples. And so it is our privilege, our honor to hand on our Catholic faith, our tradition. And by doing that, our children are receiving this incredible academic formation as well as a faith formation. Because what they come to understand is that they're learning to discover that they were made by God to go and be with Him, to have relationships with one another that ultimately are going to call them back to God. And so this is what's different about Catholic schools, how our faith formation, our understanding of who we are, children, boys and girls, young men, young women, made in the image and likeness of God, who are being called to be His hands and feet on earth. And so because of that, I want to learn. I want to be the best that I can be so that I can be that servant leader and bring God's kingdom of heaven here on earth. That's not going to happen anywhere else. That's what happens at Catholic school.
I think a family should consider Catholic education because as important as the intellectual formation of a student is for their future, I think faith is the rock that will stay with them beyond a career, beyond college, when they form a family, whatever their future holds. I think the foundation of our faith will stay with them forever.
Witness the difference
of Catholic schools in the Archdiocese of San Antonio.